Hi, I'm Alan, and welcome to today's edition of Alan's Cycling Adventures. Today, Teresa and I are doing another metric century. This one is from May 2023. It's Memorial Day weekend, so we're wearing our Army and Navy jerseys again. And this is exciting because it is a brand new route. I think we've ridden a brand new route every single time this year. But this month is another brand new route. Next month is going to be another brand new route. So should be fun. Anyway, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, or ideas for future editions of Alan's Cycling Adventures, be sure to leave them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel. Well, without further ado, let's ride. Today's ride was done on Sunday, May 28th, 2023. It was the day before Memorial Day. It was actually kind of funny because I showed up at Teresa's house wearing a 5-borough bike tour jersey, and she had her Navy jersey on. And fortunately, I brought the Army jersey with me just in case, because I made a last-minute decision to change jerseys so that we would have our Army and Navy jerseys on. Also, I did make a poor decision when I got to her house, because when I got there, she was ready to go, and I knew we were going to a barbecue after the ride, and so I felt a little bit time pressured. And so even though I had brought sunscreen with me, I had not put any on, and in my haste to get ready and get out the door, I did not put sunscreen on. So I got plenty of sun on this ride, including some sunburn and some funny tan lines, particularly on my head because of the helmet. In any event, in terms of the weather for today's ride, at the start of the ride, it was 58 degrees Fahrenheit and sunny skies. The wind was light, 2.6 miles per hour out of the southwest. And although I don't know what the weather was at the end of the ride, wind-wise, I don't think it was significantly different. In terms of temperature, it was probably in the 70s. So overall, it was a beautiful day for a ride. In terms of the length of today's ride, I guess it depends on whose GPS you trust. My Garmin logged it as 62.77 miles, which comes out to 101.02 kilometers. So it was definitely a metric century. Teresa's Fitbit actually logged it at a little over 64 miles, which is a little bit further. We actually laughed about that. About she must have taken a detour at some point along the route that I didn't take. Obviously she didn't, but just the Fitbit logged it as 64 plus miles, and my Garmin logged it at just under 63 miles. In terms of the statistics for today's ride, we completed it in an elapsed time of 5 hours, 56 minutes, and 59 seconds. Our total moving time was 5 hours, 1 minute, 23 seconds. And that gave us an average moving speed of 12.5 miles per hour and a maximum speed of 25.1 miles per hour. My average heart rate during the ride was 113 beats per minute, and my maximum heart rate was 135 beats per minute.
According to Garmin, we had a total climbing of 2,057 feet. There were no major climbs, and I burned a total of 1,349 calories. The reason why we laughed at the end of the video, when you get to that part, you might wonder, what are they laughing about? It was because I said that was fun, and Teresa said it was awesome, but I don't think she thought it was fun. She, for whatever reason, I think she had done back-to-back workouts leading up to that day, but with the 2,000 feet of climbing, she found it a little challenging. Next month's metric century is definitely going to be challenging because we're doing the farmland ride out in Flemington. And their metric century route, I believe, has over 3,000 feet of climbing. I don't know yet if it has any major climbs. We shall see. But on top of the fact that there is 50% more climbing than today's ride, there's also, well, I thought there was a time cut because the start of the ride is 8 a.m., and they said that you have to finish by 2 p.m., and lunch will be served up until 3 p.m. Well, I checked the notes on the registration page, and there is a note that says something along the lines of all ride services will cease at 2 p.m. and any riders that are still on the course at that time are responsible for their own well-being. Well, since Teresa and I have been doing these rides unsupported, we're kind of used to being responsible for our own well-being, and so that certainly takes the pressure off. With that said, we are still going to try to complete the ride in an elapsed time of under 6 hours, especially since lunch was included in the registration fee, so it would kind of be a little bit of a bummer to miss lunch after having paid for it. Anyway, in terms of where today's ride was, we started in Fair Lawn, New Jersey, and the ride was entirely in New Jersey. As I said, we started in Fair Lawn. We headed south into Elmwood Park, and then Garfield, and then we crossed the Passaic River into Passaic, and Clifton, Brookdale, Montclair, Glen Ridge, West Orange. That part of the ride I particularly found interesting because we went right down Main Street, right past Thomas Edison's lab in West Orange. I haven't been there for many years. I think I went once on a field trip when I was in elementary school, and I believe both of my kids have been there as well, but I have not been back since, although it is a nice trip, and having ridden past it and having it return to the forefront of my mind, perhaps at some point I will have to make a trip back to Thomas Edison's lab. Anyway, from West Orange, we continued south into Orange, and then South Orange, Maplewood, Vauxhall, Milburn, Springfield, Mountainside, Westfield, and interestingly enough, I should say that this route had a surprise in store for Teresa. Usually, as I'm sure you can imagine, we have to make a couple of stops along the way for bathroom breaks. And That's usually at a convenience store, at a gas station, a supermarket, a Dunkin' Donuts. In any event, I had a bathroom break actually planned on this route because I specifically planned the route to go from her house to my house and back. When we got to Westfield, she kind of figured that out because Westfield is the next town over from Garwood, which is where I live. And so once we got into Westfield, I let her know that we would be stopping to use the bathroom. And when we go past where we're stopping, she'll know it. But because of the distance requirement, I actually had the route go past my house and go down the road a couple miles for a turnaround point. And I told her that we would stop at the bathroom break after the turnaround point. I didn't want her to get her hopes up when she saw it and then have us go past and be like, I have to stop. So anyway, so we went from Westfield to Garwood and then through Cranford and into Roselle, which was where we turned around. And then we came back through Cranford, Garwood, Westfield, Mountainside, Springfield, Milburn, Vauxhall, Maplewood, South Orange, Orange, West Orange, once again, right up Main Street, past Edison's Lab, Glen Ridge, Montclair, Brookdale, Clifton, Passaic, Garfield, Elmwood Park, and back into Fairlawn. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. As you can see, we're almost back at Teresa's house. And so I will leave you until the afterward.
Well, that was fun.
Awesome.
Yes. Another another new route done. Actually, the next 2 months are also new routes, so it should be fun. Next month is the farmland ride out in Flemington, New Jersey. And the month after that, we are going to be down in Maryland. We'll figure out a metric century while we're down there. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, stay safe out there.